First, I want to apologize that I haven't been able to get back and do as I promised I would try to do. I was going to try to have one video a week, and I still will try to maintain that. But we had a little bit of a dilemma here. And while I was actually away from home visiting in Florida, my mom fell and broke her hip. And so when I returned, I had to go and help out there. And both of my parents are up in years. So between the four of us, we're taking care of them. But that kept me a little bit of busy on one way. I couldn't get back to you guys. So I'm going to try to share something today that I find really interesting. And once again, this is some notes that I've taken from books that I've written with Wayne Dyer. So if you're a Wayne Dyer fan, some of this will probably sound really familiar. And it is how to get what you really, 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 really want. And what does that mean? There is a level of living that goes beyond the everyday human awareness, and it starts with independence from the good opinion of others. And yeah, we all find ourselves getting into that sometime, right? It's not always easy to break away from that. It's not about having an investment of power over others, which I think sometimes that's what we think when we're trying to break our independence. It's not about the power. It's not that at all. It is about doing what's right. Doing what's right for you, doing what's right for others, and sometimes that's a fine line. We have to figure it out. It's always good that you're not always concerned about just your outcome. And I think people struggle with that because we are, well, even now we were discussing, we're living in a world of entitlement. And I don't know where that came from. What happened to giving and humble and praising others, edifying others? It's kind of fading away. It's like it's not cool anymore. But what we want to do is work on ourselves. And if everybody would work on themselves, then they would probably find that there would be a lot of good stuff come of this, okay? So self-actualization, independent from the good opinion of others, getting to that place is very, very difficult, but it's very achievable. And like I said, it's a fine line because we're not talking about being rude or not concerned about others' feelings, that kind of stuff. That's not what this is about. So don't misunderstand that. Don't confuse it with selfishness toward others or any of that. What you would like to create or manifest in your life is what we're talking about. And in order to truly do this, you have to shift your belief system to a knowing system. And honestly, this can be a very difficult transition because of the tribe that we, our background, where we grew up, how we were taught. Anything that was handed to us outside the tribe, becomes tainted and full of doubt because, the tribe, meaning our close friends, our family, that circle of influence, they have their way of thinking, their way of belief, their way of seeing things. Doesn't mean it's the only way or the right way or the wrong way. But, you have to decide what's right for you. And sometimes that's really hard because you're going to have to fight the tribe just a little bit. But you've got to get past that belief system into the knowing system. And when you do that, honestly, that is where you will find the strength, that courage that you need to step outside the tribe, okay? And from a believer standpoint, from where I am, and I'll say this to you, if you've chosen a certain path and you're looking to, fulfilling a dream or a purpose, you have got to not have the fears, and sometimes we do when we make those kind of changes, we just do. But if you only knew who walks beside you on your path that you have chosen, you would never fear again. You may believe it, but if you really, really knew it, there's just a difference in believing and knowing. And there'll be a confidence that you'll get that brings you peace. And there is a way to get past the belief system and knowing. For instance, when Jesus approached a leper, he didn't say, we haven't been having a lot of success with leprosy lately. No, he knew he could heal. He simply would just say, you are healed, and of course the leper was healed. He knew. It takes abandonment of tribal consciousness, okay, which means the belief you grew up with. This is where you start with how to get what you really, 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 really want. The first really stands for wish. I wish, just wishing is not good enough. The second, you desire. You ask and you shall receive. And when you desire, you probably ask. Add to your wishing by asking. Ask God. And the third is will or intent. I will have it. I intend to get it. And the fourth really is passion. And it helps harden the will and make that intent more determined. You eliminate anyone outside of you taking that picture away. You telling you that you can't do it, that it cannot be done. And when I say eliminate, I don't mean you never go around them again, or you don't love them, or you don't hang out with them. But what you do is you just don't let them in where your dreams and goals are. You don't let them in your head. And you may not share. And I'm going to tell you something that's the complete opposite of anything you've probably ever heard. But when you're learning to manifest or grow within yourself, you don't tell what it is you want to manifest. We've been told, go and tell everybody your goals. It'll push you. Well, when you tell somebody else, you immediately move over to the world of ego. Then you have to defend and explain yourself. If things don't go well, the ego starts taking up for you. And manifesting doesn't take place in that world of particles, but in the world of the observer or your spirit. That's not what you're looking for. So you want to keep the ego out of it as much as you can. And the way to do that is to have it be a relationship between you and God. Okay? And I will tell you that there are certain people, no matter what, friends, someone really close to you, you could share with them. But if you think you have to defend yourself in some way, your reasoning in some way to make you feel better, to help that ego, don't do it. You and God, good enough. So now you've got wish, desire, will or intent, and passion. And if you look carefully at the people in your life and those you've known or met in your life that have been really good at manifestation, at manifesting what they want in their life, you'll find they follow these very steps to a T. Entrepreneurs, successful people, artists, singers, celebrities, people with a dream, a goal, and they've achieved that. And the reason they've achieved that is because they just followed this whole thing, just like I'm telling you. They never allowed anyone else's opinion or negative assessments to influence them in any way. And I know that's tough. Here's the good news. If you can learn to put attention on what you want, ask for it with intent, be passionate about it, you can have what you want. Here's the bad news. What you really, 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 really don't want, you will also get. And this is truly the problem for people who are not good at manifestation in their life. So you must follow the principles to manifest things that you do want in your life. In other words, you don't think about what you don't want. But how many of us think about it? We think about everything we do not want, right? We think about, I don't want to gain weight during the holidays, or I don't want to fail at something, or I don't want to get my heart broken, or whatever that might be. And if that's all you think about, that's what you're going to get. And so we don't want to be one of those people, right? No. So You must follow the principles to manifest the things you want in your life. You don't listen to the good opinion of others, and I did say good. You can listen and be polite about it, but you do abandon the tribe. I promise you'll get invitations to all the tribal functions. Don't attend. And I didn't realize until way back when I first was listening to this that, because I used to listen to the tapes, now CDs, that I had been slowly leaving the tribe for a while. I've just always been a little different. Some of us will go quicker than others, and I don't think I knew that's what I was doing at the time, but that's what I was doing. I was leaving the tribe. And I can tell you it won't always be easy. I dealt with a lot of stuff. It's painful. Sometimes many steps will be painful. But I'm glad to be where I am right now, and I'm looking forward to the next steps of manifestation in my life. It will depend on how strong a position you are in the family or in the position of a circle of friends, how difficult it is to walk away. And the funny thing is, I don't think they know I left. um, or if they may know it now, but I think as the time was happening, they just said, oh, that's just Sherry. She's always dreaming. She tries new things. She's crazy, whatever. And you will know when you left the tribe when you go back for a visit and you want to get away from it. The negativity, the lack of vision and hope, that stagnant pool that never fills with new and refreshing things in life. This is when you know you've left the tribe. It doesn't make you stop loving those people that's been in your life forever. It really doesn't. It doesn't make you a traitor. It just makes you want something more positive in your life. So let's get back to the bad news. What you really, 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 really don't want, you will also get, right? That is, if you focus on all those things you really don't want. For instance, if you want to lose weight and you want to put your attention on despising being fat, that's probably what you're going to continue to manifest in your life. If you put your attention on not having enough money and despising being broke or poor, then that too will be what you manifest in your life. And if you put your attention on what is or what always has been, which is what the tribe will tell you to do, that will be what you will manifest in your life. So this is what you've got. You've got three choices. A, you can put attention on what you want. B, you can put attention on what you don't want. Or C, what they want for you. You got three choices. If you don't understand that A is the right choice, then this is not going to help you today at all. You have to think of your thoughts in your inner world and your capacity to be able to attract things in your life. You have to think about things like this is currency. You know, thoughts are like currency. So if you use money for bringing things into your life, like, you know, you go shopping, you go buy clothing, you go buy food, you pay for your home, a vacation, it's the same thing. You'll get the things in life you want because you can go and use currency to do that. So now turn your thoughts into currency. And that is where the power of the mind is more powerful than you know. So use this power in a positive way for manifesting things in your life that you want. So think about your thoughts as money, as currency. And then go into your inner world and use your thoughts, your power, mind power, to get what you want in your life. Make a list of what you really want. Now ask yourself why you can't do or have what you love. Why not? Now watch yourself. Now focus on all the reasons why you can't instead of why you can. See how easily the focus changes from what you want to why you can't have it? I bet your reasons for why you can't were longer than why you can. Okay, think about this again. I'm going to say it again. Make a list of what you really want. Now ask yourself why you can't do or have what you love. Make a list of why. Now watch yourself. Now focus on all the reasons why you can't have all the things you want in love instead of why you can't. Again, check the list. My bet is the list of why you can't is longer. And that's not a good thing. That's where we're going to work on it. So now this brings us to why we think we can't have or do things we love. And most of it's based on fear. And we don't even know that, but it is. And there's so many different fears, and I'm only going to talk about 3. I think they're probably the 3 most important. And I hope that I can show you why you do not have to have these fears at all in your life. So the first one is failure. The fear of failure is almost epidemic, and much of the reason that life has become so complicated for so many of us. What all of us must realize is that you are never a failure if you try. Maybe it's going to take you longer, but who cares as long as you arrive? What if you don't arrive? Does that make you a failure? No, not if you learned anything from the journey. You just got to understand that failure isn't like permanent. When you try, you don't need to be afraid. You're a winner every day that you put your efforts forward to whatever your goals are. And that is a true winner, because there's so many people out there, guys, they won't even try. They're afraid to try. Be a winner and take a chance and try. The second fear is of betrayal. That's the most devastating form, is the betrayal of self. But there is other betrayal of friends and, family, people who hurt you. But the betrayal of self is the most devastating. And a betrayal of self to let anyone, including yourself, define who you are or who you should be and what your limits are. Don't ever do that, and don't let anyone do that to you. You can be that no limits person I've talked about before. It's a really bad thing to let that happen. Overcoming betrayal of someone you trust or love is not easy either. The only thing I can promise is that you can and will survive if it happens to you. And betrayal usually boils down to 2 things: greed and vanity. And at first you may not agree, but just think about one of your experiences and see if that was not the background of the betrayal. And I've kind of experienced that. It's not been that long that I felt very betrayed, because a person's ego was bigger than, I guess, their care for me. And I had to work on that. And because I think vanity, ego, greed, importance for certain attention, where we really need to edify people. We need to edify each other. And so betrayal can be tough. It's tough because it's so personal. It's just so personal. And it can't be avoided. It's going to happen. But you just keep that really important goal in mind and let you yourself feel the purpose of getting them out of your system and not obsessing over the betrayal. And that's really tricky too. And just know that there is life after betrayal, and let it be something that you learn from and it enriches your life. So the third one is success. And that's crazy, isn't it? But success is the third one that we'll talk about today. You've heard the saying, fear of success. It's real. And it is more fear that success will be taken away once you achieve it, I believe. Think of how frightened we can be over success for good things that happen to us. Ask yourself, which is easier to tell someone about yourself? Something that is bad or something that is good? So if you become successful and then you happen to fall back or lose some of that level of success, then you've got to deal with that. So next time you want to share good news about something, just share it. Don't apologize for it. And don't be a braggart. No one likes a braggart, right? If there are people around you who can't be happy for you and your success and seem to resent you for it, stay away from them. This sounds harsh, I know, but you need to stay away from them. They need to be your biggest cheerleaders. And the same goes for people who are quick to remind you that success doesn't last forever. Who says it doesn't? Right? That's only a fact if you believe it's a fact, and I don't believe that for a second. And the next step is to define what true success is. If you have $100 million and your spirit is not of integrity, courage, love, and respect of others, or sympathy and empathy of others, then you're not really that successful. It's only a dollar amount. That's not success. The good news is that you can learn and grow to reach that level if you choose. Now that you've taken care of your inner self, you can be successful in the business world and in your personal life, which will make you very, very, very rich. And you know what? Here's an easy one to measure your real success. Here it is in my final word. When you hear, you reap what you sow. If you say, I hope so, then you're on the right track. So don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid of betrayal. Don't even be afraid of failure. Every bit of that is part of a journey to your destiny and fulfilling your purpose. And don't forget that. Just know if you're constantly worried about negative things in your life, you're going to attract more negative. I believe that. So think about all the positive that could be coming into your life and just absorb it, see it, visualize it, dream it, and believe it. Know it. Thank you. I will see you at the next video. Can't wait to share that next step. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thanks again. Have an awesome week.